Hey y'all, so I'm coming to you. I'm not live, I'm doing a video because I don't have any connectivity where I am, but I want to show you where I am. I'm in Arches National Park. I'm in Utah right now, and I can't reverse the camera, but I can flip it like this and show you where I am. I am at Delicate Arch. I'm gonna pan. This is where I came from, and look here. Two ravens are about 20 feet away from me. And then there's the LaSalle Mountains and desert landscape with snow. It's just so spectacularly beautiful. And there's my two raven friends. It feels like such an incredible gift to be hanging out here with two ravens. They're magical creatures. They're just... So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna come back on with other ravens back there. Can you see them? I want them to be in the shot with me. There, my co-stars in the video. So here I am. I'm in Utah. I think the last time I recorded or lived with you was was I still in California and about to head to New Mexico, perhaps? Are they back there still? They're there. Okay. I can't figure out how to do this. Should I have Delicate Arch in the background? I don't know. Yeah, there we go. That's an iconic landmark. There you go. How's that for a money shot? Anyway, yeah, so went to New Mexico to take care of business. Got my global entry thing taken care of. So now I have that. Don't know why that was felt so compelling to do. Sorry about the jiggliness, but anyway, switching hands. So update. I was in New Mexico for a week, and it was a rough journey there. You know, it's such an interesting process that I'm on here. These two ravens are still there. It's amazing. It's like it's a hybrid. It's like, am I a tourist? Am I like having tourist experiences? Am I living in these places, getting a feel for what it feels like to live here? Is it? So I realized it's like I'm not focused, which is I think it's actually okay. We don't always have to be focused and goal oriented, right? Oh, where's Delicate Arch? There it is. It's funny, as soon as I put the camera down a little bit, you can't see it. Anyway, so where I'm at right now on the journey is, you know, the more places I visit, I keep thinking, you know, when I came out here, I thought it was going to be that there was going to be a place that I was like, yep, this is it. But that's not what's happening. So I think it's just going to be at some point making a choice. Just making a choice. It's like simple, right? But somehow it's hard for me to just make that choice, because it feels like a massive choice, but it doesn't have to be for life, right? It can be, this is where I'm going to choose to settle for now for maybe a year. But I think I'm getting close to that point. You know, it's like, it's emotionally exhausting to keep doing this. It's exciting. And I am very aware. I'm going to give you another little better shot of the arch there. It's a choice. And like that implies that it's easy to make a choice, right? Like to just choose one option or another. And, you know, one of the things I was thinking before I left Massachusetts, I went to the dentist, right? Just for, I think, a cleaning, or I can't remember why I was there exactly, but I love my dentist. She's in Arlington. It's two women sisters that own a practice there. Perkins Family Dental, shout out, they're great. Anyway, when I was leaving, you know, one of the dentists I had connected with over travel, you know, she's been out she has friends. In fact, she has a really good friend who's a dentist in Encinitas, interestingly enough, which is where I've spent quite a bit of my time in Southern California. And so when I was leaving, she said bye. You know, she was like, she wished me goodbye, and she was like, you know, hope you have a great time, and, you know, hope you have a great adventure. And then she looked at me and she said, and if you don't, that's on you. right? And in the moment, I really loved that. I was like, yeah, it's up to me to create this journey, this adventure, to create it. Not, it's like, it's the whole victim that, I talked about the drama triangle at one point, I think. And, drama triangle is about victim, persecutor, rescuer. It's like the codependent triangle, right? And so I can experience this journey as like, oh, it's a struggle, it's difficult, it's hard. Like, what am I doing? That's all victim place, right? And I can choose to look at it as an adventure and like, oh, what am I going to do next? What can I experience next? And, and yes, I can, in each moment, I can do the best I can to choose the latter rather than the former. But also the reality of life is that that's not always possible, at least not for me. There are times when I am just so in it. And, part of that is just this healing process that I'm in too, this healing journey, like that's what the healing journey consists of, is getting in touch with stuff. The ravens are still there. Getting in touch with stuff, bringing up stuff that's been held in the body. And, for me with my history, like a lot of that stuff is pretty dark and pretty heavy and pretty intense. And so I get into fear. I have fear responses. Am I safe? Is this safe? Feeling really alone, feeling lonely, even though I know I've got friends I can call on and family that's supporting me, So, but those feelings can come up and they're really real. And so there are many days I'm on this trip where I just want to like hole myself up in my Airbnb. It's funny, I'm kind of affectionately calling it the Airbnb tour because thank God for Airbnb. That's how I kind of decide my next place to go. I just get an idea of like, oh, I think I'll head that way. Oh, one of the ravens just flew away. It's like, I'll head that way and then I'll look on Airbnb and see what's there and then find an Airbnb and that's where I'll go and stay for about a week or so. So that's the way I've been doing it lately. But those triggers, I get triggered by things and I don't always know what I'm going to get triggered by. And sometimes it's an incident that occurs that's a trigger. So it's like an acute trigger, I think of it. And sometimes it's like a rolling trigger. There goes the other one. The rolling triggers are the even harder ones to deal with for me, meaning that like when I was in Albuquerque, like I wasn't really aware that I was getting triggered or that fear stuff was starting to come up for me. Trauma response was starting to get kicked up, but it's like it gradually happens and I get more and more into fear and it's hard. It's like it becomes like a snowball rolling downhill, right? Getting bigger and gathering momentum. And so by the time I got to my Airbnb in Espanola, New Mexico, I really just felt like I wanted to hole up there for a while. So I did. I don't think I left the Airbnb for a couple of days, and thank God for that. Like, I'm grateful to have that. Of course, I come to find out yesterday from a friend of mine that lived in Albuquerque for a while that Espanola is the heroin capital of like the world or something. And I was like, oh, great. Glad I didn't know that before I was there. Anyway, that could have fed into my fears, my not safety concerns. Anyway, so, I just wanted to talk a little bit about triggers here and how to manage them. Part of it is doing the healing work, often one-on-one with somebody or doing some kind of healing process so that you're allowing things to come up and process them, right? Like that's the work I do with people. But the other part that is this whole concept of pattern interrupts, like these triggers can trigger trauma responses can become patterns in our nervous system, right? And so it can, the trigger can happen, it can activate that pattern. And then next thing you know, you're in this pattern and it just becomes this patterned behavior that it's like habit. It's nervous system habit. And for me, that becomes very, very dark and very isolated and very hunkered down and very much clinging, like white knuckle survival mode emotionally. And so the woman I've been working with, Ina, she was trying to help me like do something to break the pattern, interrupt the pattern interrupts using movement, like just like move differently than you normally would move, because patterns, neurological patterns are, it's mind body, right? It's always one and the same. So you can use your body as a mechanism for breaking patterns. It doesn't have to just be thinking differently or trying to make yourself feel differently than you are, because that often doesn't work for me. So it's this whole concept of like, we'll just move differently. So walk backwards or just be silly, like dance, like just move in a way that you haven't moved, So I love this concept. And So I'm trying to play with that. And there's a lot of resistance to it, because here's the other thing, people, is like when you've got these patterns, like your nervous system views them as safe because you've survived. You're alive right now, which means these patterns equal safety. So you have that, even though right now, like there's a saying that what saved you as a child can kill you as an adult. It's pretty dramatic, but it's also true, because this is where addictions come out of, and but so it's like using the body, like trying to find the ability to do stuff. So I've been just like trying to put my jacket on instead of my right sleeve first, my left sleeve first, simple things like that. So interrupt patterns, pattern interruption whenever possible. So that's kind of what I'm playing with now, and and trying to take it on, because it is my job to reprogram my nervous system and my body, and it's doing it little by little, day by day. It's not like a one and done. That's a common thing in healing too, is like, if I just get through this piece, just do this piece, then I'll be okay. And it's not the way it works. Like, yes, it's important to get through pieces, and I always roll my eyes when I hear this, but it's the truth, is it's the daily practices. It's the small things that you do over and over and over that repattern and regroup the nervous system. So anyway, I just wanted to pop on here and share that. And I'm going to be here in Utah for about a week, and then I'm not sure where I'm going. I think I'm probably going to head back to Southern California and just stay at that same place I was at before for a month. And then I'm heading off to Peru in March. And then I feel like when I get back from Peru, I probably will make a choice and settle somewhere for a bit, and start to rebuild my practice, my business, my virtual business. That stuff's starting to come alive. I'm starting to feel ready to engage with that. So I'll be sharing more about that probably coming up, and starting to re-engage with my email list and stuff, redoing my website, so I'm starting to kind of come back online in terms of actually being able to have some offerings and be of service in people's healing. So sending you lots of love. And one more time, I'm going to turn this around and just show you where I am. Southern Utah, man. This is Arches National Park. It's just, oh wait, since these guys are here, let's go up high. Let's go up here, see what it looks like. Holy moly. People said be careful of the heights if you're scared of heights. Oh my God. Wow. Check this out. Hoo-wee. Man, is that something? Wow. And apparently that's the main trail over there. I got off the main trail, but I always love a good metaphor. I accidentally got off the main trail and ended up like, I met a couple of people coming up here that live in Salt Lake. So they come here and they know the area, and they're like, this is better anyway. So accidentally got off the main trail, and oh, look at that, the sun right behind me on my head. All right, signing off for now, sending you lots of love, and I would love to hear how you're doing. All right, bye.